Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी नित्यानामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी भाष्यते सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपदाय भूतले श्री वेदांत स्वामी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare नमो कृष्णपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Hare Krishna
Hare Rama
Hare Ram Ram Ram. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Dandavat Pranam,
Krishna Krishna,
devotees.
Hare Hare.
Just 1
Hare
minute.
Ram,
Let me
Hare
complete
Ram,
this
Ram
one.
Ram.
We'll start.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram. Yeah, thank you very much for waiting. Yeah, let us begin with Mangala Chana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nite Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Devatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhyabhyantaram suchi Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. Conclusive teachings of Supreme Lord Krishna. So let me share my screen. We are at 61 verse. This chapter, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Yes. Deepa Mata, please read it. Before that, let me, this is one of the important verse. Everything is important in Bhagavad Gita, but Prabhupada most frequently quotes these, some of the verses from Bhagavad Gita, around 200 to 300 verses. He frequently quotes in his purports. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hruddesha janatishati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. Okay, go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Purport. Arjuna was not the supreme knower, and his decision to fight or not to fight was confined to his limited discretion. Lord Krishna instructed that the individual is not all in all. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, or he himself, Krishna, as the localized supersoul, sits in the heart directing the living being. After changing bodies, the living entity forgets his past deeds, but the supersoul, as the knower of the past, present, and future, remains the witness of all his activities. Therefore, all the activities of living entities are directed by this supersoul. The living entity gets what he deserves and is carried by the material body, which is created in the material energy, under the direction of the supersoul. As soon as a living entity is placed in a particular type of body, he has to work under the spell of that bodily situation. A person seated in a high-speed motor car goes faster than one seated in a slower car, though the living entities, the drivers, may be the same. Similarly, by the order of the Supreme Soul, material nature fashions a particular type of body to a particular type of living entity so that he may work according to his past desires. The living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual is always under the Lord's control. Therefore, one's duty is to surrender, and that is the injunction of the next verse. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna. We never ever become independent in this material world. Everything we are dependent on either Krishna's energy. Everything actually. Everything we are dependent on Krishna's energies. Yeah. Let us go through it. This is also one of the beautiful verse. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapasyati shashvatam. Samyukta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O Shrine of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Purport. A living entity should therefore surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart, and that will relieve him from all kinds of miseries of this material existence. By such surrender, not only will one be released from all miseries in this life, but at the end, he will reach the Supreme God. The transcendental world is described in the Vedic literature, Rig Veda 1.22.20, as Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. Since all of creation is the kingdom of God, everything material is actually spiritual. But Paramam Padam specifically refers to the eternal abode, which is called the spiritual sky or Vaikunta. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is stated, Sarvasya Chaham Pridhisanni Vishta. The Lord is seated in everyone's heart. So, this recommendation that one should surrender unto the Super Soul sitting within means that one should surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna has already been accepted by Arjuna as the Supreme. He was accepted in the 10th chapter as Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Arjuna has accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the supreme abode of all living entities, not only because of his personal experience, but also because of the evidence of great authorities like Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Yes. So actually, this is one of the prayer in deity worship after 24 Achamans there. 24 Achamans. Om Keshvaya, Om Narayana, Om Madhavaya, Om Govindaya, Om Vishnavaya Namaha. Like that, there are 24 Achamanas. Purify our body. Important parts of the body like eyes, nose, ears. So there are different mantras. So after that, we recite this prayer. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Diviva Chakshuratatam. That is the complete verse there. So what is saying? Paramam Padam. What is Paramam Padam? The eternal abode. Many verses talks about the eternal abode. Definitely there is a spiritual world. And this material world is a reflection from the spiritual world. Prabhupada writes in his purports. Right? So, yeah. Surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and the eternal abode. Yeah. What happens when these answers, what happens a person when he surrenders to Supreme Lord Krishna? He attains transcendental peace and the supreme and the eternal abode. Yeah. Prabhuji, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, we have another 16 verses, 18 chapter, total 78 verses. Let us recite, what is that? Shloka also. You can do some of them, Prabhu. You can do, Prabhuji. Then the devotees can read translation purpose.
No. Let us give a chance to everyone, Prabhu. Let them recite. Na?
Yeah.
At least it will get practiced by them. Okay. So they will get some confidence to do it.
Yeah. Then
we will help them, Prabhu. You will help them. And
yes.
At times I will, when you are not there, I will do it. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Okay, Prabhu. Then Sandhya Mataji, carry on. Read Sloka also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Iti te jnanam akyatam guhyataram maya vimrishatad ashishena yatechasi tata guru. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do. Purport. The Lord has already explained to Arjuna the knowledge of Brahma Bhuta. One who is in the Brahma Bhuta condition is joyful. He never laments, nor does he desire anything. That is due to confidential knowledge. Krishna also discloses knowledge of the super soul. This is also Brahman knowledge of Brahman, but it is superior. Here the words Yatechasi Tatha Kuru. As you like, you may act, indicate that God doesn't interfere with the little independence of the living entity. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained in all respects how one can elevate his living condition. The best advice imparted to Arjuna is to surrender unto the super soul seated within his heart. By right discrimination, one should agree to act according to the order of the super soul. That will help one become situated constantly in Krishna consciousness, the highest perfectional stage of human life. Arjuna is being directly ordered by the personality of Godhead to fight. Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the best interest of living entities. It is not for the interest of the Supreme. Before surrendering, one is free to deliberate on this subject as far as the intelligence goes. That is the best way to accept the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such instruction comes also through the spiritual master, the bona fide representative of Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yatechasi Tata Kuru. As you like, you may act. Indicate that God does not interfere with the little independence of the living entity. Yes. So now, Arjuna acting on the instructions of Krishna. Karishe Vachanam Tava. That will come. Now I soul surrender unto you. I'm going to act whatever you instructed me as a Kshatriya duties. Now I'm going to fight. Yes. Radhika Mataji, can you please do this? With Shloka recitation also.
Krishna Prabhuji Pranam.
And no pranam.
सर्वगूयतमं भूय शृणु मे परमं वचा इष्टोऽसि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्. All translations and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you, my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Purport. The Lord has given Arjuna knowledge that is confidential, knowledge of Brahman, and still more confidential knowledge of the super soul within everyone's heart. And now he is giving the most confidential part of knowledge, just surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the end of the 9th chapter, he has said, Man mana, just always think of me. The same instruction is repeated here to stress the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This essence is not understood by a common man, but by one who is actually very dear to Krishna, a pure devotee of Krishna. This is the most important instruction in all Vedic literature. What Krishna is saying in this connection is the most essential part of knowledge, and it should be carried out not only by Arjuna but by all living entities. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question from the previous verse. In the previous verse, it is written by right description, one should agree to act according to the order of the super soul. So, how do we hear that voice?
Can you help me to find your way?
Yeah, one second. The fourth line.
From in this paragraph. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
Starting from the start, the fourth line.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. By right discrimination, one should agree to act according to the order of the super soul. That will help one become situated constantly in Krishna consciousness. Yes, tell me, Mataji, what is your question?
How do we hear that voice of the super soul in our day-to-day lives?
See, actually, there are 4 kinds of gurus in our life. Okay. Patha Pradakshaka Guru, who has shown this path of Krishna consciousness, Krishna Bhakti. And the way, the first introduction with them. There is a satsang, there is regular satsangs, reading, hearing, glorifying Supreme Lord, and so this process, whoever introduced us, there is a Patha Pradakshaka Guru. Then Siksha Gurus. Siksha Gurus mean instructing masters, teachers, whoever inspires, in the path of Krishna consciousness. Then Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru can be only one person, one only. That's it. So he is an initiating guru in the process in the Brahma-Madhya Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Since we are situated in the Brahma-Madhya Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and there is one Chaitya Guru. Okay, a very fortunate soul. He may cannot come to under those 3 kinds of gurus, but the super soul itself is a guru, redirects and helps that particular devotee. Okay, so by right discrimination, one should agree to act according to the order of the super. How can we hear? So of course, we are not there yet. That's where we got introduced to different, Patha Padaksha Guru, Siksha Guru, and ultimately Diksha Guru. Through that, we can hear our, through their exemplary, life and the teachings they, lived with. So through that, we can able to, it's if we follow the instructions of Guru, it's directly super soul is nothing but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And the spiritual master is acting on the instructions of spiritual master, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, when we follow instructions, that means, how there's again Chaitya Guru. The concept is there. Chaitya Guru. If somebody not able to find the different gurus, but Krishna himself, the particular sincerity of the devotee, Krishna himself gives the directions. So how can we hear every day? So we don't have that access now. That's why we have access to these 3 kinds of gurus: Patha Pradakshaka, Diksha, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru. Right? So So that's where one way of understanding. Yeah, Lalit Mohan Prabhu or Deepa Mataji, anybody, you can add anything. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Nalangana.
And,
That is perfect, Prabhu. We cannot hear at this stage of time to the Chaitya Guru because we have been crushing the Chaitya Guru, from millions of times. So today, at one point of time, after coming into Krishna consciousness for 5 or 10, 15 years, so whatever it is, just to listen to its voice, it's not that easy. But we have a facility of, many other gurus. We should take it. When we don't have any of those things, and we don't have any of those things, then, we should really be humble enough to address those things. And it is said that for us to listen to the Chaitya Guru's voice, there are some minimum criteria or qualifications which we should have. Only then we can do it. One is the purity of intention and clarity of thought process, and then humility. So these are some 5 to 6 ornaments. That is what Maharaj, His Holiness Radha Maharaj used to say. Only when we have all those things in our disposal, then we can hear. So it's not that easy, Mataji. And as our Prabhuji said, when we have these 3 facilities, okay, we cannot, no need to go to that. Because it is said that there is a very fine line difference between, acting with our free will and choosing a Chaitya Guru. Because when free will comes, mind will actually divert you to something else. So Chaitya Guru's voice, if you wanted to hear, it's very, very, very tough. You should be very humble, and you should be very, what you say, your purity of intention should be very high. You should never have any ulterior motives. Only then you can hear.
Yes, yes.
I am done, Prabhuji and Mataji. If you have any doubts, or if I confused you, you can please comment.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I understood.
Yeah. Let us go. Deepa Ma, do you want to add? Hare Krishna. Okay, so let us read. Prabhu's Raju Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. You can recite sloka also, Prabhu.
Sarva, yeah. Sarva Guhyatam Mam Buyaham Shrinume Param Vachaha Istosi me Dardam iti Tato Dardam iti Tato Vakyami te hitam Tato Vakyami Vakshyami Tato Vakshyami te hitam. Translation: because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Purport. The Lord has given Arjuna knowledge that is a confidential knowledge of Brahman, and still more confidential knowledge of the super soul within everyone's heart. And now he is giving the most confidential part of knowledge. Just to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the end, the 9th chapter, he said that Manam Manaha, Man Manaha.
That was Man
Manaha. Just always think of me. The same instruction he is repeated here to stress the essence of teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This essence is not understood by a common man, but by one who is actually very dear to Krishna, a pure devotee of Krishna. This is the most important instruction in all Vedic literature. What Krishna is saying in this connection is the most essential part of knowledge, and it sound be carried out not only by Arjuna, but by all living entities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. Krishna is saying most confidential knowledge. Again, 1865, 934. 935 also same, just little different, but theme is same. Always remember Krishna. Service. Sorry. Now, Who else here? Yeah, Sapan Prabhuji, please do sloka recitation also. Hare Krishna, Sapan Prabhu.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, yes.
Manmana bhav madbhakto madhya jimam namaskuru mam evasyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Translation: always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Purport: the most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official mediator. Life should be so modeled that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is a dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stresses that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feathers in his hair. There are descriptions of Krishna found in Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead Krishna. One should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi-forms as Vishnu, Narayana, Rama, Varaha, etc. But a devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. See, Prabhupada. Krishna is everything. Krishna is, that we say in our preaching. Everything needs to be Krishna is, so that we will remember Krishna always. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna. That is the everything is there in this. Always remember Krishna, never forgets him. Such a way, like that, we have to design or mold or architect our life. Architecture, software industry, architecture. We are our own architects, our own next destiny. So remember, so that's where we call, always remember Krishna. Prabhupada writes this. Always remember Krishna, never forgets about him, and everything needs to be Krishnaized, Krishna consciousness, Krishna-centered life. Krishna-centered life. Yeah. One of the important words again, 1866. Chandramayul Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender.
Slokam
In Prabhuji?
Sloka also recite, Prabhu.
Okay.
Last few verses we are reading. We are doing sloka recitation also. Please.
Oh, yeah, 18th chapter. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Perfect. The Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion, knowledge of Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Super Soul, knowledge of different types of orders and statuses of social life, knowledge of the renounced order of life, knowledge of non-attachment, sense and mind control, meditation, etc. He has described in so many ways different types of religion. Now, in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. That surrender will save him from all kinds of sinful reactions, for the Lord personally promises to protect him. In the 7th chapter, it was said that only one who has become free from all sinful reactions can take to the worship of Lord Krishna. Thus, one may think that unless he is free from all sinful reactions, he cannot take to the surrendering process. To such doubts, it is here said that even if one is not free from all sinful reactions, simply by the process of surrendering to Sri Krishna, he is automatically freed. There is no need of strenuous effort to free oneself from sinful reactions. One should unhesitatingly accept Krishna as the supreme savior of all living entities. With faith and love, one should surrender unto him. The process of surrender to Krishna is described in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa 11.676. Prabhuji, meet Sattar Prabhu.
Try Jain, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do one so you can do. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishvaso goptrutve varanam tata atmanikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagatihi.
Yeah.
You can do one.
Yeah. Anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam raksisyati visvaso goprave varanam tatha atmanikshepa karpane sadvida saranagati. According to the devotional process, one should simply accept such religious principles that will lead ultimately to the devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in the social order, but if by executing his duty one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. Anything that does not lead to the perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. One should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. There is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. One should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the only basis for the progress in life. As soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes freed from all contamination of material nature. There are different processes of religion and purificatory process by cultivation of knowledge, meditation in the mystic yoga system, etc. But one who surrenders unto Krishna does not have to execute so many methods. That simple surrender unto Krishna will save him from unnecessarily wasting time. One can thus make all progress at once and be freed from all sinful reactions. One should be attracted by the beautiful vision of Krishna. His name is Krishna because he is all attractive. One who becomes attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists. Some of them are attached to the impersonal Brahman vision. Some of them are attracted by the super soul feature, etc. But one who is attracted to the personal feature of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself, is the most perfect transcendentalist. In other words, a devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Karma yogis, empirical philosophers, mystics, and devotees are all called transcendentalists. But one who is a pure devotee is the best of all. The particular words used here, Ma Sucha, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kinds of religious forms and simply surrender unto Krishna, but such worry is useless. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham dvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Do not fear. That's one thing we have to develop. Complete surrender to Krishna. We are still not there. Otherwise, all these problems, we are always defeating with our mind. All these, tata mana pamanayo, hitoshna sukha dukkeshu, happiness, distress. We don't get till that point, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma stage. But if we have complete faith in the Krishna, complete surrender to Krishna, that we can achieve that Brahma Buddha stage. And Haribhakti Vilasa talks about how to execute devotional service. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishyati vishwaso goptrutve varanam tada. Krishna is going to be, Krishna is the only protector that in all of situations, he is going to help me and protect me. That is the confidence, that is the faith. Now to develop Atma Nikshepa Karpanya Shadvida Sharanagata. Shadvida, 6. Shadvida, 6 types of surrender. Actually, this meaning Shadvida Sharanagata. Shadvida Sharanagati, actually, I forgot actually those 6. Actually, we see in the nectar of instruction, right? Nectar of instruction.
Shadvita Priti Lakshanam, Shadvita Adi. Ante what is not good for
favorable.
devotional service, what is not favorable and what are
unfavorable. Yes. But this is 6 Shadvida Sharanagati.
Sharanagati. This is for surrender.
Let me tell you, actually I couldn't find. I have to find Shadvida Sharanagati.
Yes, Prabhu. Means what to find, what to get.
No, I mean the meaning actually. Your verse meaning. Of course, Krishna is the is going to
Ante
protect.
paina cheptunnaru kada Prabhuji, anukulyasya sankalpa, pratikulyasya varjana. These are the Shadvidas.
1, 2, okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Rakshishate Vishwasa.
Anukulyasya ante what is favorable. Idi kuda vachindi actual ga appudu exam lo manaki. That what is favorable you accept. Pratikulyasya varjanam. Edi unfavorable you have to reject.
Actually, question vachindi correct.
Rakshishyati vishwaso means Krishna is a protector. You have to believe that. దాని తర్వాత ఏంటి ప్రభుజీ?
గోప్తృత్వే వరణం స్వత.
మర్చిపోయాను, అయిపోయింది.
Prabhuji, who is the author of Haribhakti Vilasa, Prabhuji?
Sanatana Goswami.
Okay.
లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభు, మీకు తెలుసా ఇవి 6 మీనింగ్? రక్షిష్యతి విశ్వాస ఫస్ట్ 3 తెలుసు.
First is okay. Pratikulya, favorable, non-favorable. Krishna is the only protector. Goptrutve Varanam
Tata means completely concentrating on the pastimes and form of Lord Krishna. Atma Nikshepanam means I don't remember. Surrendering the soul or something like that. I don't know. Really. I forgot properly.
Yeah, we can check that later. Anyway, let us continue in the flow. So, what is here? The particular words here, last 3 lines. The particular words used here, ma suchaha, do not fear, don't hesitate, don't worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kinds of religious forms and simply surrender unto Krishna, but such a worry is useless. Chinta mat karna. Yeah, that is what it is. But chinta aade rehta hai. Chinta always we are in the, our mind is always disturbed or, anxiety, stressful life.
Yeah, Prabhuji, the 6 aspects of surrender to God are to desire only in accordance with desire of God, that is anukulyasya. Reject what is not in favor of devotion, that is pratikulya. And the faith that God will surely protect me, that is the third one. Fourth is to maintain an attitude of gratitude towards God. Which one is that? The fourth one is, sorry.
Let me share.
Yeah. Goptritve varanam tatha, that is to maintain an attitude of gratitude towards God. Then to see everything we possess as belonging to God.
Okay.
And to give up the pride of having surrendered. Yeah, these are the 6. To give up the pride of having surrendered.
Only 5 happened, Maharaj. Only 5
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
To desire only in accordance with desire of God, reject what is not in favor, faith that God will surely protect, to maintain an attitude of gratitude, to see everything we possess as belonging to God, and to give up the pride of having surrendered.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Who else not read? Let me see. This Prabhu already left. Gaurav Prabhu, Raju Prabhu done. I think everybody done. So can we stop here, or what is the point?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can do Kunti Maharani.
Okay. Yes,
Lalit
Prabhu.
Prabhuji didn't read Prabhuji, I think. Lalit Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, okay, slogan చదవండి ప్రభుజీ. లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభుకి జై. చలో ఇది చదవండి, ఇది చదివిన తర్వాత
Parle Prabhu, it's okay. If you want me to read, I will read. Prabhu.
నేను కూడా చదవలే ప్రభు, రాజు ప్రభు నేను కూడా చదవలే. ఇట్స్ ఓకే. ఎస్ చదవండి ప్రభు, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. మీరు 67 చదవండి, నేను 68 చదువుతాను. ఓకే, 68 ఐ థింక్ బిగ్ వన్, ఐ డోంట్ నో. 68 ఆల్సో స్మాల్ వన్. ప్రభు చదవండి, both of us let us read. Read ప్రభు.
इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न चाशुश्रूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यश्रूष्यति. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. Prabhu, you did purport, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Persons who have not undergone the austerities of the religious process, who have never attempted devotional service in Krishna consciousness, who have not tended a pure devotee, and especially those who are conscious of Krishna only as a historical personality, or who are envious of the greatness of Krishna, should not be told this most confidential part of knowledge. It is, however, sometimes found that even demoniac persons who are envious of Krishna, worshipping Krishna in a different way, take to the profession of explaining Bhagavad Gita in different way to make business. But anyone who desire actually to understand Krishna must avoid such commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Actually, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is not understandable to those who are sensuous. Even if one is not sensuous, but is strictly following the disciplines enjoined in the Vedic scripture, if he is not a devotee, he also cannot understand Krishna. And even one possesses himself as a devotee of Krishna, but he is not engaged in Krishna conscious activities, he also cannot understand Krishna. There are many persons who envy Krishna because he has explained in Bhagavad Gita that he is the supreme and that nothing is above him or equal to him. There are many persons who are envious of Krishna. Such persons should not be told of Bhagavad Gita, for they cannot understand. There is no possibility of faithless persons understanding Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. Without understanding Krishna from the authority of a pure devotee, one should not try to comment upon Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitaya Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So this is what it is. Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. We all fortunate enough to read and understand in a proper way of this Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita as it is. No personal motive, no any adulterations, any addings for his own, as it is. Just like Arjuna received from Krishna, we are also experiencing. One has to become a devotee when a person reads Bhagavad Gita, one has to become a pure devotee. That is the goal of Bhagavad Gita, right? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Just now we read. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha. Yes, thank you so much. Let us stop reading today. So, Prabhuji, it's up to you. What plan? What's the plan?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. Please take up.
So, what to do, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, my idea. We have another 14, 15, 16. At the time.
Yeah. Shall we start today, Prabhu? Today is or shall I continue with the discussions? That will go on, Prabhu. I start to saying with Kunti, it will go on for 2 or 3 classes. So let us start. In between, I'll just give like a small, 5 or 10 minutes. I'll just share some shlokas. Will that be okay? Or the problem is, I will start with Kunti, but it will go to Mahabharata. If it is going to Mahabharata, it is gone, bro. The day is gone. You were on mute, Prabhu. Not audible.
Another Mahabharata. We see another Mahabharata in our call.
Yes, Prabhu. So I just wanted to stop it there only.
Acha, Mahabharata is good actually. Anni rasalu unnai Prabhu actually.
Yeah.
Mahabharata is complete package actually. సరే మరి మీ ఇష్టం ప్రభు మీరు స్లోగా ఓపెన్ చేయమంటారా?
Yeah, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, chalo,
So
please.
I'll just give a small synopsis of how these shlokas will be there.
Yeah, better.
How they are arranged. And see, it is not an arrangement or complete, Kunti didn't behave like a, what you say, a jnani, how we should arrange these shlokas and all. But she being a devotee, bhakta, the love automatically pours out, right? So it's a jnani, what you say, praises Lord in a different way, and a bhakta praises in a different way. And a bhakta who is a jnani, who knows knowledge, everything, he praises it in a different way. But a bhakta who is completely devotional and completely with service attitude, he prays in a different way. Okay, so Kunti Maharani's prayers are by a person who is completely devoted in service and love, with some sort of, even though she is an aunt, Manata, she is what we say, Buva. We call it Buva in Hindi, and she is Manata in Telugu. Even though she can command Krishna, but no, she never commanded him. What did she do? She bowed down. She bowed down and then she prayed, because she has a lot of respect for Krishna also. Love, devotion, respect, many things comes in this Kunti Maharani's prayers. In this material world, she has taken in a different position, that she has taken birth as a sister of Krishna's father. But never in these prayers you will come to know, that she is commanding from that position, or she is commanding from a Rajmata's position. She will be pouring out her devotion in these prayers. So, like we have discussed on that day about the background of this, when she is doing, what she has done, how she took birth and how she was raised, and how she got married, and how she, given birth to these 5 Pandavas, these Pancha Pandavas. Hare Krishna, are you all with me till that?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So what happened is, just before these prayers, Kunti has seen something very horrible. What did she do? What did she see? She see that Draupadi's all the 5 sons got killed by Ashwatthama. Okay, and now again this Mahabharata has come. I'm sorry, but let me give a small synopsis of what happened before this thing. Prabhu, did you made it PDF?
No, PDF. This is PPT only. I'll convert Prabhu. Chapandi.
Sorry. This is a PPT, right? You have made a PPT then, right?
PPT.
Okay. Oh, good, Prabhu. Hi, Vijay. So did you share it in the group, Prabhu?
ఇంకొంత ఫార్మాట్ ఉంది ప్రభు, కొన్ని శ్లోకాల ఫార్మాట్.
Okay then, bro. Okay. So where I am? So
అంటే
has gone through something, right?
heinous act of Ashwatthama.
Yeah. So what happened is, see, there is a person known as who is named after Ashwathama. Okay, so what did he do? He killed all the 5 sons of Pandava, thinking they are Pandavas themselves. Okay, and how did he do it? At the dark of the night, he has just gone into the place where they are sleeping, and he slit their throat and he separated their heads from the body. What we call this, Muslims, they call it Sartan se juda. So he done something like that. So what happened? And he brought all those 5 heads towards this person. What is that person's name? Duryodhan. So then Duryodhan felt very bad. How could you do that? First of all, these are not Pandavas. Even if they're Pandavas, why did you do that? And now what the crime you have done is, you have killed the next generation. I'm not happy with that. Okay. This person, Ashwathama, somehow or other, he wanted to please Duryodhana. That is the kind of loyalty these fools have actually. You know, if you're not guided properly, you also have loyalties, but those loyalties are very bad to the future of whole kingdom and very bad to himself also. So loyalty also have some, meaning with them. We can be loyalty in a mode of ignorance also. So this kind of personality is an example of loyalty in the mode of ignorance. Okay. So the other thing is, now he wanted to do something else to please Duryodhana. So what did he do? He again released the Brahmastra. Where? Into the womb of her. Okay. And Uttara came running. Please protect me. Something is happening with my womb, within my womb. Right? And again, Krishna made that embryo born, and then again Krishna goes and gives the life to that embryo again. Okay, so this is what Draupadi visualizes just before coming to pray to Krishna to stay for some more time. See the conditions how she came to Krishna, not as my niece, my nephew, you are my nephew, please stay. It's not that mood. It's in a mood that, very recently you saved us by giving us the progeny, what you say, Vamsha. You have sustained our Vamsha again. Hey Krishna, please stop. And then she outpours. As I already said, that when gopis started coming out and screaming in front of Krishna, he didn't stop. But when Kunti came and she prayed, Krishna stopped for 2 more months, right? he will extend his stay for 2 more months. So this is how importance he gives to Kunti. And I'm not telling you that Kunti is more than gopis and all. No, it's not like that. But the prayers are such. The prayers are in that mood. Okay. So it is said that by these acharyas that what is a prayer, and we can never glorify Krishna by the words atu aha. Like in Telugu or in this Sanskrit, what are the words itself? What is the letters we have? A, I, E, till that, the 56 letters what we have. So we cannot glorify Krishna with those things. But how can we glorify Krishna? By our feelings. Words are only just means, but the feelings are important actually. Okay. And so the next things I will just share you slowly. But this is the setting actually. Krishna is about to leave because his mission is accomplished. Right? And now Kunti has come. Kunti has come and prayed. And everyone is praying. Everyone is, pleading to Krishna to stop for some more time, to stay for some more time. And, nothing helped out. So then this humble lady has come in front. And the so-called, not so-called, the dearest friends of Krishna, like Arjuna and Yudhishthira, like cousin brother-in-law, They couldn't help Krishna to stop, but this personality stopped. So these prayers have a depth in it. So that is the reason why I am emphasizing and again. Please don't take these shlokas lightly. That is the reason why I am continuously telling about these shlokas. Now we have 4 minutes with us. Shall we go through? These shlokas are very small shlokas. They doesn't have philosophy with them. They only have pure loving feelings and exchanges of Kunti, how Krishna saved them. Okay. So there are some first set of shlokas which only deals with the pranams. Okay. The obeisances to Krishna. Then the ultimate crux comes in between, and last is surrender. Okay, this is how these shlokas are placed. Nothing, just hey Krishna and obeisances, and in between, what you have done to us, and at last I surrender unto you. So this is the 3 phases of these shlokas. There are 25 shlokas somewhere around. So we will go through these shlokas one by one for the next coming 1.5 or 2 months. Okay. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes,
Prabhuji.
So
sounds like a plan in English word.
I didn't get you, Prabhu.
In English, like a word, sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a blah.
Plan.
Blah, blah.
Plan. Sounds like a plan. Yes, let us do.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. So now, you want to recite now, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Kunti Vacha Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam. Okay, this is how it goes. We will take 2 lines together because we are habituated to the 4-line shloka, na? So we can take 2 lines together. Okay, these are not tongue twisters. There is no tongue twisters in these shlokas because she is a simple lady, simple devoted lady. Okay, so no philosophy will come in this. Only loving exchanges. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param. Please repeat after me.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Iswaram Prakrute Param.
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Iswaram Prakrute Param.
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Iswaram Prakrute Param.
Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam.
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 Okay, now whole shloka together. Okay, Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Iswaram Prakrute Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam.
Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrute Param Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam.
Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अन्तर्बाहिरवस्थितम्
नमस्ये पुरुषं तुभ्यम् ईश्वरं प्रकृते परम्
अलक्ष्यं
लक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानां बाहिरवस्थितम्.
Now, one by one, according to your own sequence, you can go ahead. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let me do, Prabhu. Namasye purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrute param alaksyam sarva bhutanam antarbahir avasthitam. Mata, yes, you can do it. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Kunti Vacha. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahiravastitam. Hare Krishna.
नमस्ये पुरुषं त्वाद्यम् ईश्वरं प्रकृते परम् अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अन्तर्बाहिरवस्थितम्.
Kunti
Continue, Mataji. I'll do it.
नमस्ते पुरुषं त्वाद्यम् ईश्वरं प्रकृते परम् अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अन्तर्बाहिरवस्थितम्.
Mataji, namasye, not namaste here, namasye. Okay, Mataji.
Yes. Mata, yeah. Sandhya Mata.
Sandhya Mataji.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Kunti Vacha. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avastitam.
Very good. Prabhus, Sapan Prabhu there, Raju Prabhu there, Chandramaya Prabhu there. Please do it.
Hare Krishna. Kunti Vacha. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam.
Yeah. Raju Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.18 Kunti Vacha. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avastitam.
Yes. Chandravel Prabhu, Meera unnaru. Chant.
Kunti Vacha. Namasye purusham tvadyam. Namasye purusham tvadyam Ishwaram prakrute param alaksyam sarva bhutanam antarbahiravastitam.
Haribol. Can we read? Can we all repeat?
Prabhu Ram Reddy Prabhu is there, Prabhu.
Ram Reddy Prabhu, after you. Let us do translation. I'll repeat. Yeah. Go ahead.
Kunti Vacha. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avastitam. Hare Krishna.
Sorry. Can we all repeat this translation? Please repeat after me. Srimati Kunti said.
Srimati Kunti said.
Oh Krishna.
Oh Krishna.
Krishna.
I offer my obeisances unto you.
I
offer my obeisances unto you.
Because you are the original personality.
Because you are the original personality.
And are unaffected by the qualities of the material world.
And are unaffected by the qualities of the material world.
You are existing both within and without everything.
You are existing both
within and without everything.
Yet you are invisible to all.
Yet you are
invisible
to all.
Yeah. If at all you get a time, please read Prabhupada purport if you want to understand, Srila Prabhupada explanations. Okay, thank you so much. Let us continue. This is a starting point. Thank you, Prabhuji, Prabhu, for starting today. You can explain, Prabhu, in between, whenever you want to share. Mahabharata also, it's okay. It's connected, na? So this is happened in Mahabharata. So Bhagavad Gita also, we got it from Mahabharata only.
So, Prabhu, we actually started with Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So, if Mahabharata comes now, so the whole time will go like that, Prabhuji. So, that's the reason. Let us concentrate on Mahabharata,
yes.
Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita.
భాగవతం భగవద్గీత చైతన్య చరితామృతం ఎస్ మహాభారతం కూడా ఏమైనా కనెక్టెడ్ ఉండి put some bullet points, explain. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, all the wonderful devotees, Raju Prabhu, Samyukta Mataji, Ramred Prabhu, Sapan Prabhu, Sandhya Mataji, Deepa Mataji, our dear Lalit Mohan Prabhu, Radhika Mataji, Chandramal Prabhu. Dandavat Pranams, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Translation Book Reading ki jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
See you all on Monday. Okay. Have a happy Krishna conscious weekend. Hari Bol.